Hello, welcome back to my YouTube channel, or welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Newbie Anime What Ifs, but you can call me Noob for short. And today I'm going to be giving you what if Naruto was raised in the Mist Village. Now I know I said I was going to upload this like 2-3 days ago, but the day I came back after school I was really tired, so I took a nap for 3 hours. Then I just forgot about it until today, so yeah. Better late than never. And yeah, I think that's it. Well, I'm gonna stop you guys from waiting and finally get into it. What if Naruto was raised in the Mist Village? Chapter 1. The day the Mist Village lost Bloody from its name. In this what if, there will be about 4 or so differences. 1. Yagura, the 4th Mizukage, and the 3-tailed Jinchuriki is Kushina's brother. 2. Urukata, the 6-tailed Jinchuriki, will be one of Yagura's advisors. 3. The seven swordsmen of the mist are loyal to the Mist Village. 4. Haku, Tojo, and Sogetsu, who will be in the Mist Village since his brother Mangetsu is one of the 7 swordsmen, will be aids down to match Naruto's aids. And finally 5, Kisame is like Itachi of the Mist. Kisame is like Itachi, but for the Mist Village. Kisame did kill people, but he was under a genjutsu by the same mysterious person that put Yagura under the same jutsu. No matter how hard he tried to explain it, he still got kicked out of the village. But a week after he was let go, Yagura came into contact with him and made him become a spy for the Akatsuki, Kisame being Zoro level loyal, agrees and tricks the Akatsuki into thinking that he's a crazy soccer guy. So like I said earlier, Kisame is like the Itachi in this what if, in the way that he's a Akatsuki spy. Also, this Naruto is going to be OP. It's going to be OP as hell, so if you don't like that, watch something else. But if you do like that, then by all means, enjoy the show. And with those out of the way, we can get into the story. Like I said before, Yagura and Kushina are siblings, but even though everyone knew that fact, the Leaf and Mist weren't very close. The Mist was still known as the Bloody Mist, and Yagura was still a tyrant thanks to Obito's genjutsu. But Minato still tried to connect with him, but to no avail. And Kushina knew that Yagura wouldn't act like this and tried to get him out of this weird state, but it was still unsuccessful. And Yagura stayed this way until the night of Naruto's birth. Everything in the Leaf goes as canon, but one bad thing happens. Before Hiruzen is able to get to Naruto and pick him up, Obito comes back around and takes Naruto and Kamari's away outside of the Land of Fire. But he was near the Land of Water, and not even a few minutes later, Obito, disguised as the masked man, got jumped by Yagura with Urukata and Mei being the 5th Mizukage in canon, as a backup. They were there because Yagura found out that through Isabu, the 3-tails, that Kurama had been sealed in a baby. Yagura jumped at this chance and rushed to the Leaf for another Jinchuriki, but they only had to run for a couple minutes since the person with Naruto had appeared right in front of them out of nowhere. Obito wouldn't be able to deal with Mei in the state he's in, let alone 2 other Jinchuriki. Obito, being under a lot of stress and extremely fatigued, had canceled the genjutsu Yagura's on. But then as soon as he did that, he realized that what he'd done and how to try to calm her away, but unlike the canon, he got tired after spamming his MS ability. Now, why Obito canceled the genjutsu on Yagura, you may be asking? Well, that's because in Obito's very messed up and tired mind, he was like, oh, maybe if I stop controlling this guy, he'll leave me alone. That doesn't work anyway. If I ever mention Obito, again from this point on, just assume that he has a EMS, Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan, because the fact he can spam his MS ability without going blind is stupid. Anyway, the split second Obito couldn't use Kamui, Utakata took this opportunity to get Naruto and used his bubble jutsu to float Naruto towards them. Obito just reverse summoned himself back to the Akatsuki hideout since that was all he could do. Yagura was frozen in place, and he then just turned around and said, "May, Utakata, what are you guys doing here? What am I doing here? What happened? Who's that baby in the bubble, and why did that strange man in the mask run away?" Utakata and May were dumbfounded. At first they thought it was a joke, but they realized that Yagura never jokes. And then they remembered that one day Yagura just snapped and had become a tyrant out of nowhere. The three of them went back to the mist, and Utakata and May had to explain the decade that Yagura was in power. When Yagura had heard about the atrocious things he'd done, he started to cry. He couldn't help it. He had found out that because of him, hundreds, if not thousands, of people died because of what he had told them to do, and he had no power to change that. He put a kunai to his chest, and was going to end it, but something weird happened. Utakata blocked the kunai with his bubbler. May used a vapor cell to burn his arm, and even Isabu, the Three Tails, used his coral leaves to stop him. Yagura was extremely confused, and when the kunai went out of his hand, he received 2 hard slaps to the face from both of his advisors. "Are you an idiot?" May screamed. "If you were to die, how would you make amends? By dying? The least you could do is apologize to all the people you killed and all the loved ones, you idiot." Utakata then stated in a calmer tone, "Just think about it. If you were to die right now, who would take up the mantle? Me? May? One of the 7 swordsmen? No one in this village can take up this mantle like you have. Yes, you've been tyrannical, but that wasn't you. If you were to blame anyone, blame that masked man, because it seemed to me that he had done something before you became yourself again. Tomorrow, at the time the village is the most active, make a public announcement about what you've been through and wait for the village's response. If it's mostly negative, you'll find a suitable successor in like a month or so and then step down from the position. But if it's mostly positive, you'll be this village's Mizukage until you die. Deal?" "That does seem fair," Yagura replied. "I guess you always were to think of Uta," Yagura finished. "Oh, shut up," Utakata said with an embarrassing blush on his face. "Well, now that that's settled, what do you do about the baby?" May asked. Yagura was going to say that they should return him to the leaf, but as his first act of internment, he decided to raise his nephew in the village he wanted to prosper. Anyway, the next day Yagura had made his announcement and waited for the response. And most people were excited that they'd be getting the old, lovable, and strong Kage back. And after he got his response, he held the 5 Kage summons. And everyone there was expecting Yagura to make some type of power move as he's done beforehand, but everyone was surprised that he was the understanding one. Hiruzen was very mad that Naruto was now in the Bloody Mist Village, but he was a little calmer since Yagura seemed to be the way he was a decade ago. Yagura pleaded with Hiruzen since Naruto was the only family he had left in the world. He just found out that he was a tyrant for 10 years on the same night he found out his sister and brother-in-law dead, and now his only remaining family, possibly the only remaining Uzumaki alive, isn't able to live with him. That's horrible for anyone to go through. Just imagine how you guys would feel if the only remaining family member you have alive isn't able to live with you. Don't you think it'd be painful? Yagura pleaded to the other Kage. He was bowing his head at this point. And through this, everyone, even Wasa, understood. Wasa, the most cold-hearted Kage out of all of them, even when Yagura was a dictator, still felt bad because she just imagined that he couldn't live without his wife. And Hiruzen had finally caved and allowed Yagura to keep Naruto, but under 2 conditions. 1, they keep his name Naruto Uzumaki, and 2, they teach him how to use his beast chakra. Hiruzen set these conditions while holding his hand out for Yagura's sake. "Deal," Yagura said excitingly. And after that, the Bloody Mist Village lost its threatening title. I said that way too fast, a lot faster than I think I would have. And that was the end of chapter 1. Now I would read chapter 2 if I got past chapter 2. And the thing is, chapter 2 is pretty long. Like, it's 7 pages. So I'll just end the video here. If you made it all the way through, thank you. And if you made it all the way through, thank you. And I don't know, I keep repeating myself. So for the last time, if you made it all the way through the video, thank you. And consider leaving a comment, dropping a like, subscribing if you're here to hear me say this. And yeah, that's it. Hope anyone watching this has a great day. Bye. Noob out.